Good afternoon, everyone. Yeah, welcome to this training. I believe we are all in so that we can get started. Thank you, everyone, for getting in on time. So before we begin, I just want to do a quick uh, roll call just to be sure that we have all the expected partners in this training. So I'll just quickly run through the list of the expected partners. Just carry your hand if you are there, so that we move with speed. So I'll just call the partner, and then if you are there, just raise up your hand. Once you raise up your hand, then you can just put it down so that you are able to get the exact count. So I'll start with the first partner. Just very fast. AHF, if you're in. Okay. Chap Stawisha. Stawisha. Next we have CHS Shinda. Present. CHEB Connect. CHEB Connect. Okay. CHEB and Trench. Thank you, Duncan. CHEB Imara. CHEB Imara. Okay. Coptic. Coptic. Okay. HJF Kisumu. HJF Kisumu. Right. HJF Nairobi. Ngima Mugen, that is Homa Bay CHMT. Then we have Hope Worldwide. Next is KCCB Act. Just raise up your hand if you're in the meeting. KCCB Act.
Otieno, sorry to interrupt. I can see the participants you're asking, but I don't know if maybe they're having challenges to raise their hands. Maybe you can go through the how to raise the hands. I can see them.
Okay. On your screen, on your screen there is a hand up somewhere on your right side of the screen. Just click on that hand, and once I call your name, just raise the hand, and then you can put it down. So I can see KCCB Act. I've seen the hand. Thank you. Kiambu Coag. We have Kisii CHMT. Next is Kisumu Coag. The next is LVCT Prisons. We have LVCT Debate. Thank you, Kevin. We have LVCT Vocation 95. Thank you, Alvin. We have Migori CHMT. Migori CHMT. Mkomani Clinics. Thank you, Njoka. Next is Shine. Shine. Okay. CISHMT. That is Ngima for sure. We are almost done. We have Machakos Coag. Okay. Ampa Tuzima. Thank you, Daniel. Dumisha Afya. Thank you. Nuria Mtoto. Okay. Last but not least, we have Stawisha Pwani. Stawisha Pwani. Thank you. And lastly, we have Tujenge Jamii. Thank you. Yeah, so I think if you have any challenges with raising your hands, or if you were not in when I called your partner's name, I think we can do this by just doing self-registration in the chat area. Just state your name and the organization you're working for. That way, we'll be able to just kind of know which partners attended this training for purposes of our documentation, and also to be sure that we have reached the right audience. Yeah, so having said that, we just need to get started as we get more people coming in. So this training basically is going to focus on the technical configurations of TaifaCare system that is powered by KenyaEMR. You remember last week we on Thursday and Friday we were able to have training on the documentation of the PrEP regimen, the lenacapavir. So that means that we are going to have facilities upgrading to the TaifaCare version, and that calls for some training so that all of us are sure that when you're going to do your site upgrades, you're able to make proper configuration so that one, the system can work optimally at the facility, and two, we are able to track and have this data transmitted to the National Data Warehouse for purposes of monitoring of the uptake of this new regimen. So it will be proper that we really take note in terms of what we need to configure in the system, how we need to upgrade, what are other configurations that are available that we need to pay attention to ensure that when we start the upgrade, the system will be optimal, and also the data will be able to be transmitted upwards for purposes of monitoring at the national level. So having said so, I just want to pass the baton over to Diana to lead us in the opening remarks before we actually get started. Diana, if you're ready.
Thanks. Thanks, Bernard, and good afternoon, everyone. This would be very short, given that we just want to spend more time on the technical aspects of the training. I just want to welcome Dr. Jacob to just say a few remarks, and then welcome our other colleagues from USG. Dr. Jacob, if you can hear me.
Yeah, I think for me is to just welcome you to the meeting. I know we have a CDC person who will probably make remarks. I think the new version of KenyaEMR brings quite a bit of value, but you guys are the engines that make it operate. So we are very happy to have you on the call so that we can not only support the service delivery for PrEP, but also the monitoring of LEN PrEP. So Dan, I think that's all I'll say at this point. I'll give it back to you. Dr. Lily may join to just say hi, but for now, I give it back to you.
Thanks, Doc. Daniel, maybe then you can welcome Sashi to say also a few words.
Yeah, thank you, Dan, and good afternoon, everyone. And I want to take this opportunity to thank you for joining this call, and also the Palladium team for organizing this important training session. Just to give some bit of background, as you know, Kenya is rolling out long-acting PrEP, that is lenacapavir. And as you might be aware, we already have some doses within the country, and there's a planned launch at Riruta Health Center this Thursday, the 26th. And I think it would be important to ensure that from a health information system side of things, we are ready. I was actually at Riruta, and I'm happy with the work that has been done there because we have the latest package of KenyaEMR, which can support PrEP service delivery, especially lenacapavir. So I think that is expectation for all the sites, especially for the 15 pilot counties. It's about 156 facilities. I think we can circulate the list so that each partner can be able to see, whether the sites they're supporting are prioritized in that list. So our task is really to ensure that the sites we support have the latest package, that is KenyaEMR, and essentially, all these facilities are using the latest version of KenyaEMR. So really just ensuring that we have upgraded to the latest version, and also setting the schedulers in place, because beyond, ensuring that we provide service delivery, we need also to ensure that we're able to monitor the uptake of PrEP of lenacapavir at the national level. So that means it would be important at least to have schedulers set at least once a day, so that there is data transmission to the national level for monitoring purposes. So thank you for joining this call, and looking forward to a successful engagement. And maybe I can hand it over now to Sashi for any remarks before we hand it over back to the Palladium team. Over to you, Sashi.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. I really just want all of us to, take to heart everything that Daniel just said, emphasizing the importance of the systems in the delivery of this critically important service in the form of long-acting lenacapavir for prevention of HIV. So let's move on to the actual training, and please feel free to ask questions as we go along. I think it'll be important for us all to sort of do our share in making sure this is a successful implementation for each of our communities and for the country at large. So with that, over to Bernard, I think, to get started with the training. Thanks.
Thank you, Dr. Sashi. So we're going to start the training. So, and this is webinar. You'll notice that all of us are muted unless you're a presenter. So if you have any questions, let's use the Q&A chat box. Not the chat, but Q&A, so that we can ensure that all the questions are answered and we don't lose some of the questions if we use the chat section. So let's use the Q&A for questions, and we will also circulate the list. I know the list that had been circulated for the sites previously, there are a few changes that have been made. So like Daniel said, we'll circulate in this forum as well. I know some of us have already upgraded. If we get time towards the end of the training, maybe we can just do a catch-up follow-up to just ensure that we get to hear the feedback for the sites that have already been upgraded. Otherwise, Bernard, over to you.
Thank you. Thank you, Dana, and everyone who has made the remarks. So I think we'll just transition to the actual training. And as we do transition, I still request that we self-register in the chat area. Just mention your name and the organization that you belong for purposes of documentation. So at this point, I'll just welcome our facilitator to start us off. I'll request Kenny to go to if you're ready. You can share your screen and also get us started. Thank you and welcome.
Good afternoon, everyone. Bernard, confirm that I'm audible.
Loud and clear.
Thank you. Let me just share my screen. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes, I can see it.
Thank you. I didn't display the agenda for the team, but hopefully I hope everyone has a copy. Okay. So in this particular session, we are going to cover some few technical areas. We'll be covering TaifaCare upgrade. We'll be covering DWAPI upgrade, IIT configurations, and also I'll take us through on how to do HIE configurations. I think we are set and we are ready. As already alluded, I'm KenyaEMR, working with Palladium as service desk lead and training specialist, and my co-facilitator is also with us here. In case of any questions, you'll be able to chip in. So to start us off, before we'll be starting with TaifaCare upgrade. So before you do an upgrade, you need to have your upgrade package ready. So there's a link that was shared on email where the package is on our GitHub. And if in any case you can't remember the link, you don't have the link, the easiest way to get our upgrade packages, you just open your browser. I hope all of us are able to see my screen. Are you able to see the screen?
Yes, go to your screen. It's visible.
Yes, I want us to be together. I might be talking alone. So the easiest way to start for our packages or resources, just go to the browser and then you just type Palladium releases. You'll be able to get the links. Palladium. When you type Palladium releases, you'll be able to get links to our releases. So you just select the first one that comes, where we have Palladium Kenya /KenyaEMR -releases. When you click that link, it will take you to our GitHub where you'll be able to find all our releases. So target for us today is our latest release, that is 19.3.2. While at it, always I advise don't forget to go through the release notes just to be sure and you know what is it that is in store for you in our new release. We have the key updates here, and also the packages or new releases always come with release notes. So to go to the asset section from here, you'll be able to see the download link. When you click on this link, the download will start immediately. Confirm the package and then confirm the release date, just to be sure that you're downloading the latest one. Okay. I hope you are clear up to that point. That is the first thing. You need to know where do you get the resources from. So when you click on this, it will start download immediately, and you can always monitor this to tell you how long it will take. For my case, I'd already downloaded just to save on time. I'll not be downloading it again. I already have it downloaded. So we'll just go straight to how to go about the upgrade process. Remember, we are assuming that we have a working instance running TaifaCare that would want to upgrade to our latest version. A point of note, this package you can upgrade directly from 19.2 to 19.3.2. You don't have to go through 19.3.0, 19.3.1, and then 19.3.2. You can upgrade directly from the series of 19.2.2, which was the last series of 2, to 19.3.2. I hope that is clear. So we'll go to my package. My package is on my home directory. This one is what I downloaded. This is how it's going to look like. And for us to get started, just extract it. Just right click and then click, select extract here. So the zip file will be extracted, and when done, you'll be able to find your directory here. When you open it, you have all the resources you need. Start the upgrade process. We need to access the resources via the terminal. There are several ways of opening the terminal. You can press Ctrl-Alt-T to open the terminal, or you can search. You can search terminal to open terminal, or you can open terminal within the directory that you want to work with. That will give you easy time. Let me just reconnect. Hope you're back and you're able to see my screen. I'll go to my home directory, open my working directory. That is the directory having my resources. You right click and then select open in terminal. So when you click open in terminal, it will open for you direct the path to your resources directly, and you don't need to look for the path from the empty terminal. You just have your working directory, and for you to confirm the resources, when you do line list LL, it will list for you the resources that you have in your working directory. So to proceed, first you need to note that we have two script files, that is setup script.sh, and then we have post-upgrade.sh. So for us to upgrade our server, we need to run setup first. When it's done and we are able to load TaifaCare on the browser, that is when you run post-upgrade for you to complete the upgrade process. So to run the setup script, this is what you use, the script that you use for the same. We do sudo sh. When you type search and press the tab key, it completes for you. So this this is the script that you use for updating TaifaCare. So when you press enter, it will prompt you for the server administrator password. So you must have administrator rights as a user for you to upgrade to TaifaCare. When you enter the password, the upgrade process will start. So I will not upgrade my server for now, but this is the process of doing the upgrade. Okay, so it will take time to update because I'm running on a server with a heavy database. So it will take some time before it completes the process. Okay, so when you're done entering the password, the upgrade process will continue. The easiest way to know that Tomcat has finished, has completed restarting is by opening your browser and refreshing just to be sure that TaifaCare has loaded. Okay, so when you refresh your browser while it's still running, before it loads, it will be monitoring Tomcat. The moment Tomcat completes restarting, it will load for you TaifaCare. So when you see this particular screen, that ensures that the setup script has run successfully. That is when now you'll go back and to your terminal and let me just cancel this and then execute the last script, the post-upgrade script for you to complete the process. So to do that, you just type sudo sh post-upgrade script. The same will ask you for a password, or it might not ask you if you had entered password the first time. So that is how to do the upgrade, unless there's any question on the upgrade process. Because Wally. I hope I was audible. Is there any question on the upgrade process? My class is quiet. Otieno, confirm there are no questions on the chat for me before I continue.
There are no questions, so go ahead.
Meaning that we are together.
I believe so.
Thank you. Just a quick one on basic configurations, especially for optimal performance of the server. We always have some configuration files that are already tailored. We just change a few things depending on the server resources, just to fine-tune the Java heap memory and also MySQL. So I will just do a short showcase on the same. We'll be able to share if in case you don't have the files with you on where to get the configs. This will help your server to run optimally and avoid downtimes or delay in execution of commands or requests by the users for various resources within the server. So let me just go back to my prompt. These are the files that we do the configurations of. These are the basic ones. Sudo gedit, depending on etc default Tomcat. So let me just open the file. So this particular file, the configuration that we always do, we always have standard configurations on the highlighted line and also on the Java path. So depending on the Java version you're running, either version 8 or version 11, version 8 for Ubuntu 20 and below, and Java 11 for Ubuntu 22 and above. So these particular configurations, depending on your server specs, will be able to be configured. The most important ones are the first two, where we have the XMX and XMS. So the first one is the amount of memory, the highest you can, the highest Tomcat can use, so that it doesn't surpass that. Okay, this is the highest, and then the second one, this is the bare minimum that is allocated to Tomcat, the Java heap memory that is allocated to Tomcat when it is loading. So this will determine how fast it loads depending on your server specs. So we have the processor speed, and then we have the RAM memory. So we're talking about RAM when it comes to these particular allocations. Other than this, we also have one for MySQL. So the myCNF file, this file, we have standard configurations depending on your server. We'll always advise on how to do the allocations and fine-tuning your server. So those are two key configurations that must be done for TaifaCare to run optimally. That is aside on others, but these are the key ones, the basic ones. I think I'm done on that. I think now, if there are no questions on KenyaEMR upgrade, we'll move to DWAPI upgrade. If there are no questions for me. DWAPI, it's always very challenging.
Yeah, I haven't seen any questions on the Q&A section, but I just want to encourage everyone, if you have any questions, please raise them under the Q&A so that then our team can also respond to them as Ugutu is facilitating. Thank you.
Thanks, Bernard, for that. For DWAPI upgrade, first, you need to confirm if you have Docker running and you have an existing DWAPI. So you can either install a new DWAPI or you can upgrade an existing one. So for you to install DWAPI, you must have a Docker container running on your server. So I'm not well much into the installation of Docker, but you can always Google and get this link. There are several ways of installing Docker engine to Linux. This is available. Okay, even in our SOPs, we have a link that will bring you here on how to install Docker. I think this was important for me to show. I'm having an old version of DWAPI running. So if in any case you don't have the SOP to upgrade or install DWAPI, it's also very easy for you to get that from any of the search engines, either Firefox, or you can use Google Chrome. So you can just open any of your browsers and just type DWAPI. When you type DWAPI, you'll have several links here. And the link we are looking for is Palladium Kenya /DWAPI. When you click this link, I needed research acting up. Apologies for my DWAPI. My DWAPI is acting now. It's connecting because of internet fluctuation. So I was saying that if you don't have our SOP on where to get the resources, our SOPs are also available online. You're able to share the links on where to get them, but you can just search. When you type DWAPI search, you'll get the links to our GitHub. When you click on this particular link, it will take you to our GitHub hosting our DWAPI. So from here, if you just scroll down here, I talked about a link on where to start from. If you don't have Docker, we have a link here, which is also available in the DWAPI. This is just a replica of what we have on our SOP. So the link for that, and then we have the DWAPI setup. Very important. So for new installation, you only have to run this particular one line for a new installation. After installing your Docker, you've confirmed your Docker is running well. I simply have to run this and it will install for you DWAPI. For an existing DWAPI that you'd want to upgrade, especially a case for many of us, if not all of us, we have the second option where we upgrade DWAPI to our latest version. So we have 3 scripts to do that. I'll be doing this because we've noted that most of our users have issues upgrading DWAPI, or even after upgrading, how do you do the configuration, which is very important, because after upgrading the DWAPI, tables in the DWAPI database change, and you also need to have that updated as well. So I'll take us through on how to do that. Okay, being that I have an old-fashioned DWAPI. So to upgrade DWAPI, simply copy the first script, go to your terminal, and then you paste it. Just that, and then you run. Go to the second one, copy, just paste. You don't invent the wheel. It's already done for you, and then you run. Seeing this something, let me rerun it again. Okay, seems our DWAPI is down. Let me rerun it again. Mostly this happens when the network connectivity has an issue or if the internet is not strong enough. I'll just change my connection. And you see that error, always know that it's the connection. I'm changing my network connection. I'm trying to reconnect. Just patience. It's having an issue with my network. Okay, fortunately, it has run from my end while I was still disconnected with my AnyDesk. But that is the procedure of doing the upgrade. And after running the last script, which I have done here, and it goes successfully, this is the last script that I've run. This one. To upgrade, that is like reinstalling. The first and second script is to remove the existing DWAPI, and then the last one is to do the reinstallation. As you can see, is the same script that is being used on new installation. So that is what I've done. So after running those scripts successfully, what you need to do is to restart DWAPI, and then you load DWAPI from the browser and start doing the configuration. This one is very important because we get so many calls in doing configurations after upgrades. So to restart DWAPI, this is the script that you use. Sudo docker restart DWAPI. Okay, so when you go to your browser, we just refresh the browser just to confirm that our DWAPI is loading. It may take some time to load, but eventually it will load. Okay, so when you see this, don't panic, just go to advanced and then accept the risk and continue. Okay, so when you see this is not an error, just a warning. So when you do that, your DWAPI will load, and when you go scroll down, your DWAPI version will be displayed there, just for you to confirm that you've upgraded your DWAPI successfully. So to do the configurations, you come to DWAPI connection section. The provider is MySQL, which is and then the server, the link to the server by default for DWAPI 172.17.0.1. The port that DWAPI uses for MySQL is 306. My user is DWAPI. In case of an error, we'll be able to, and my password is DWAPI. So all these are being done. Creating a user is already here on our SOP. Okay. How to create DWAPI user, we have it here. Okay, and how to assign the privileges. So in any case there are no privileges, we'll be able to assign the necessary privileges there. Okay, back to our DWAPI. When you save this, when you see it's successful, meaning that your installation went well. Okay, and you can verify there, you can read the server by clicking on verify server. That one means that your configuration, your DWAPI is able to link to your server. After doing that, what we have to know at the back of our mind that after upgrading DWAPI, each upgrade comes with additional either tables or columns. So we need to update our table too. Remember, we already have an existing DWAPI. Let me just confirm by logging into MySQL. Enter my MySQL password. My AnyDesk acting up. It's back. Sorry for that. So we'll enter our MySQL password. Entering your password successfully, you'll be able to log into MySQL. We can check the databases in our MySQL, and we can confirm that the DWAPI database is there. So we need to drop the DWAPI database and then start and recreate that again. So to do that, first you need to stop DWAPI. So to stop DWAPI, we do sudo docker stop DWAPI. After that, after stopping DWAPI, we log into MySQL. And then we drop DWAPI database. So drop database DWAPI. Be sure to drop the correct schema because at times you might confuse. And then instead of typing DWAPI, you type OpenMRS. And that will bring a lot of problems. So always be sure before you press that enter key, just be sure what is it that you're dropping. Is it the correct schema? Okay, so we'll drop that. So we have successfully dropped it. So after dropping it, what we need to do is to start DWAPI for it to recreate the database with the correct, with all the necessary tables that comes to the new upgrade. So to do that, we will start DWAPI, and this is the command to use: sudo docker start -i DWAPI. This is for us to monitor the logs as the DWAPI tables are being created, and also to know when the process is completed. Because if you continue doing the configuration or working with the database before all the tables are created, meaning that your DWAPI will not work. You have to confirm that all the tables are created and DWAPI has completed the process. So this is the way to monitor it. So after doing that, just press enter, and then the process starts. So this will run until you see the DWAPI logo. If you see DWAPI logo, that one will definitely inform you that the process has completed successfully. I hope ours will take a shorter time. This is important so that majority of us who have been having issues with this can learn and implement while doing the upgrades. Meanwhile, any questions are welcome as we wait for this process to continue. So depending on your server resources in terms of speed, processor speed, they take varied time. Others take longer, others take shorter for this process. But what we ask for is patience so that all the tables are created successfully. You can see the scripts doing that, and you can easily monitor the process. Kama iko swali, the floor is open. Meanwhile, as it's doing this, we can check on the IIT configurations. If that is okay, Benaruteno. Oh, it has completed. This one has completed very fast. I think because of the server I'm working with. If you see this logo, it tells you that that one shows you that DWAPI has successfully created the database and also the table. Oh, sorry for my AnyDesk, which keeps restarting. Let me reconnect. Okay. So here we are. To stop the process, just press Ctrl+C to stop the process. and then restart DWAPI once again for the changes to be effected. Sudo docker okay. So for you to confirm that DWAPI has created the database and the table, log in to MySQL to confirm the same. Your databases, we have our DWAPI. We can check on the tables if all the tables have been created successfully. So we use DWAPI. When you say DWAPI, this now will be the active DWAPI. All the scripts you'll be running will be affecting the DWAPI database and not OpenMRS. So let's show tables. The easiest way. We have 283 tables, which is a standard for the current version of DWAPI. So if you find that you have less tables, 100, 190, be rest assured that you can't load data from EMR for you to upload to the National Data Warehouse. Okay, so that is the layman's and easiest way to know the number of tables if all the tables have been created within the DWAPI database. I think I will exit and then I go back to.
Sorry, there is a question in the chat area. I think there are two questions that maybe you want to respond to as we proceed. One from Mwinzi. Mwinzi is suggesting that is it possible to just replace the DWAPI upgrade file without doing anything else, and that should take you to the latest version. Then we have Lavender talking about she didn't really follow which table did you drop. I think she wants to just reiterate that for clarity.
For Lavender, we didn't drop any table. We dropped the DWAPI database. Okay. If you looked at my script, I dropped the DWAPI database as a whole. I didn't drop any table. So that the DWAPI script can create the table again and update all the necessary tables that comes with that particular upgrade. So I didn't drop any table, but I dropped the DWAPI database and confirmed that it wasn't available before we did the restart for DWAPI. For Mwinzi, I have not understood the question. I've not understood the question. If you've understood, Otieno, can you just return? Osoro, your hand is up. You can unmute and.
Yes, what Mwinzi is talking is about the DWAPI tags in the Docker DWAPI. So the latest tag is version 3147. So yes, you can change that one to the version 3147 and upgrade. That's correct.
Yes, that is true. I was just showing the process of doing the upgrade. Okay. Yes, but for the tag, I remember we had the tag updated with the release notes on which one you need to use. I didn't change my tag. I think during that time is when I was struggling with my internet, so I didn't change it to reflect the latest DWAPI tag. You are right on that. Can we continue?
There's last one from Kevin Mugo asking if you can run DWAPI on a different server on the network where the specifications are low for the processing server.
So you can take that.
Okay. If you are setting up DWAPI in a different server in a different network, kindly note when you're connecting the DWAPI data, when you're doing the configurations for DWAPI, you have to indicate where the KenyaEMR is located. So if you have DWAPI in a different server, not the same server as where KenyaEMR is, then you need to indicate where KenyaEMR is. And because it's in a different database connection, the DWAPI will be in the same database connection of where you have set up DWAPI, but now maybe the MySQL is in the MySQL for KenyaEMR is in a different database connection, a different network. So you can note on that one, you have to make changes on the configurations.
I hope that is clear. In any case, you have any more questions, you can always reach out to us. Can we continue?
Yeah, we don't have further questions. I think we can continue.
Thank you. So back on DWAPI, let's refresh our DWAPI just to confirm that it's working well. What we need to do, we verify our server, check, we verify our database, check, and then we save the configuration. So we are done with the database connection configs for DWAPI. So what we need to do is to continue with the DWAPI configuration. So we'll go to the configurations section of the DWAPI so that we do our final configuration. So when you click on the down arrow key, it will expand to EMR settings. Just click on the EMR settings. If in any case you've done your configurations well, you'll be able to see the EMR systems that can be connected via DWAPI. Okay. If in any case this list doesn't populate, meaning that you have a problem with your configurations. So you need to go back to your SOP, go back to the process, redo it to ensure that everything is aligned for these particular EMR systems to load. By default, KenyaEMR is selected. So when you click on KenyaEMR, which is our primary system you're connecting currently, TaifaCare, we have our KenyaEMR protocols configuration. So we want to connect the database. This is our last one. Under actions, click on the pencil so that you can change the host to the default one for DWAPI. Okay. Everything else remains default unless you used a different password for connection. So you'll update here. Me, I use the default ones, so I'll not be able to make any changes to the user and the password. The database remains OpenMRS, and the properties is comes by default. You don't need to make any changes. So we verify that our configuration is okay by click on verify. When you see connection was successful, just save the connection, and there we are. Our DWAPI is set up and ready to transmit data. So before you transmit data, first, you have to ensure that you recreate ETL tables. You need to refresh DWAPI tables for you to ensure that you are uploading the latest information in your database. Very important, okay? So it's important. We've made this process very easy. You don't need to go back to the legacy admin UI. You just log in. Yeah, so this is my instance. I just want to showcase for you to access the ETLs. Just go to, oh, sorry for that. My AnyDesk keeps restarting. Let me reconnect. We are almost done. Okay, you go to the KenyaEMR modules. When you click on KenyaEMR modules, we have the administration module. Just click on it. And then from here, you'll be able to manage your ETLs under ETL administration. What you need to do under ETL operations, just select any of the options. We have a refresh tables, refresh DWAPI tables, create tables, data tools, and also facility-wide. So you have to recreate the ETLs before you load and you load data from EMR and upload data to National Data Warehouse. So this is where you get your ETL operations from. I hope you are clear on that. I'll not be running that. It takes a lot of time because of my DB. It will take a lot of time, but that is how to do it. So if you want to refresh DWAPI tables, just click on that and the operation starts. So you'll be prompted for confirmation. When you click that, the operation will start. When it's done, it will notify you that the operations that are completed successfully. Then you'll come to your DWAPI. You come to your dockets. And then like for care and treatment, all the dockets will be here, including the ones for prep with the updated tables. I'll be able to load from EMR, or you load changes. If you had previously uploaded data, you can only load changes that you've made to your database, so that it takes a shorter time to load data and upload. But if you're doing this for the whole data, it will scan and load all the data from EMR, and then you upload. You can export if you want to go and do the upload later remotely. You can always export this. We have SOP on various ways of uploading data from the National Data Warehouse. Okay. Any question up to that point? Upgrading the DWAPI, doing the configuration, that was very important because it's always a pain point for many of our users. Kama kuna swali hapa kwa configuration and installation of the DWAPI, kindly ask. If there's none, then we can look at the IIT configuration.
Maybe I wanted to ask Mwinzi to verbalize this question because I think Jester responded about the tagging, but I feel Mwinzi's question was about the upgrade file. So maybe I'll just ask Mwinzi to raise up his hand so that you can verbalize that question so that we are clear is responded to. Mwinzi, just raise up your hand. I unmute and proceed, please.
Bernard, it's okay. I think I've been answered what I was asking. It was actually about that tag, and it's okay.
Okay, thanks. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Then the next question under the Q&A, I can see. Yeah, Dixon is asking about the versioning of DWAPI. I think he noted that after you ran the upgrade, your instance of DWAPI was still reading 3.1.44, yet the latest is supposed to be version 3.1.47. Maybe you can just comment on that. Then the next question is about the REST endpoints. Damaris is asking, on the EMR settings, there is the endpoints on the protocol. Will the settings remain with the local host, or do we replace it with the server IP address? Yeah, those two.
I'll just repeat the last one.
The REST endpoints, when you are doing the configurations under the protocols, do the settings remain with the local host, or do you replace it with the server IP address?
Chester, do you want to take that?
Yes, so when you just go to configuration KenyaEMR settings, in DWAPI. Yeah, so they you see when you say it is.
Let me just reconnect.
So let me just answer. You do not change. You do not change that one if DWAPI is in the same server as where KenyaEMR is, and that's where we normally install DWAPI in the same server where KenyaEMR is, so it remains localhost. You only change to the IP address when, for example, you have installed DWAPI in a different machine from where KenyaEMR is, and that's how you change it to the IP address. So kindly note on that one. Thank you.
And maybe to Ogutu, I hope you've noted that for the DWAPI package, the link shared is different from the normal location that we usually post the DWAPI upgrades. So that is the one that should read 3.1.47. Ogutu?
Correct. Any desk is acting up. Let me just try to reconnect again. Yes, as I'd already mentioned, for the latest version of DWAPI that was just shared on the link that was shared on email, what will change will be the tag at the tail end of the script for installation. This tag, this is what will be updated to what was shared in the link to update it to the latest one that has got changes, the prep changes, and also additional changes for uploads. The process is the same. It's only that particular script. Any question before we check on the IIT configuration? If there's none, quickly we can look at IIT configurations. For the IIT configuration, there's nothing much we need to do because it comes with the packet. The only thing we need to do is to configure the schedulers depending on your server specs because IIT is basically a little bit resource intensive. So depending on how your server behaves, you can always want to configure it when you don't have much workload or late in the evening or at night. Or if you have a super server, you can always schedule it to run at some intervals that is that you deem fit. So to do that, just to access the schedulers, for us to access the schedulers to configure the IIT schedulers is you go to the modules, and then we have legacy admin UI. Under the legacy admin UI, we have the administration page. So for us to access schedulers, you must have administrator rights for you to access this particular page. And a caution, only do what you know on this particular page specifically. Otherwise, you can mess up your server to be non-functional, and that might force you to reach out to us when actually a certification not arise. So to access the scheduler, we have the link here, manage schedulers. When you click on it, it will take you to the manage schedulers page. Here we have all the schedulers in this particular server. So we have the scheduler for IIT. Okay. We have the generate IIT ML predictions scheduler here. So to configure the scheduler, mine is stopped because I don't need it to run. This is a test instance, so I don't need it to run. But for production servers, the live servers, you can always configure this to run at some intervals. So to configure the same, you just click on the hyperlink. When you click on the name, there's a hyperlink. So it will take you to the scheduler configurations page for this particular scheduler. We have the configurations that more information on the same. The class, this one, you don't need to do anything here. What we are interested in is under schedule. We want to schedule it to run. So on startup, when you check this box, that one means that anytime you start the server or you start Tomcat, this module, this particular schedule will automatically start running. Okay. So the start time, that is when this server started running, or when the period it's going to look for the data for IIT is from 2023. So this, if you want it to fetch the latest data, you can always configure this and adjust the dates so that it doesn't take a lot of time looking for data for 2023. Okay, so this is available for all the schedulers. You can always schedule this depending on the circumstances. And then we have the repeat interval. How frequent do you want this particular scheduler to run? You can have it in days, seconds, minutes, or hours. So you'll enter whole numbers in this particular text box. If it is 1 day, if it is 4 hours, if it is 45 minutes, you can always change. If 45 days, it will run after 45 days. But what you need to note, like for IIT, if you have shorter intervals, that one means that subsequent intervals will have less data to be fetched, meaning it will be taking a lesser time and it will not like take much resources to pull data. So if it takes long before it runs, meaning that the data to be pulled has accumulated. Okay, we have a feature, the last fetch date feature that has been implemented. So it will look at the last time the data was fetched. So it will pick from that time up to the time that it is running. So if it takes the whole day before running it, remember, ikifika jioni, it will pull data for that period. But if you run it at an interval of maybe 4 or 5 hours, after every 5 hours, it will be checking what has been done only. It will not go back to the first data that it fetched. So that is what you need to note for all the schedulers. So that is how to configure. When you have this and you start it, then definitely you'll have it when you come to iko question hapo kwa configuration. IT. Okay, this one. So to start the scheduler, check the box. After doing the configurations, you can see that the settings I had is what has been updated here. And then this will be running automatically because of that checkbox. Remember the checkbox? So when you click on start, the module will start running. You'll have your notifications there. Kwamba IIT in a start. So that is how to configure this. Let me stop it. for my case. Any questions on the configuration? Otieno, any question on the chat?
No, nothing specific to scheduler configurations. I think the last question there is John saying that they always have they always experience data discrepancies in the national data warehouse even after refreshing the DWAPI tables.
Yeah, so if there are data discrepancies, I think we've always handled this on case-by-case basis, whereby we do a drill down from the facility to the national data warehouse. First, you need to confirm that your data is clean, okay, before you upload. So that is a case-by-case. You can always reach out to us so that we do a drill down on the same. Any other question?
The last question on the ETL, especially the refresh operation on the TaifaCare. Orpa is asking, is there any specific order of refreshing tables, or you can refresh in any random order?
You can refresh in any random order provided before you start loading data from EMR, your ETLs have been refreshed. There's no order, but ensure all of them have been refreshed successfully before you start the operations to load and upload. Any questions before we move to HI? I think that is our last item, unless there's anything pending to TN. Our last item is HI configuration.
There's the case surveillance configuration.
Oh, the case surveillance configuration is also on the scheduler. I think we are looking at the schedulers here. So we have program monitoring and visualization. The same process for configuration for case surveillance. These are the two key schedulers. Unless I would want to repeat, this will be a repetition, the same process of doing the configurations for case surveillance. We have the program monitoring and visualization. We just noted for some sites, when you when you have the visualization running during peak hours, it slows the server. So we always advise this to be done late in the evening when the clinic is not busy. For some servers, visualization scheduler.
Okay. Yes, so I think thanks so good. I just wanted to re-emphasize that particular component of the case surveillance, especially the two, the program monitoring and the visualization schedulers. It is essential that you set them on at least to run once in a day, because this extracts and transmits the data for HIV case surveillance. That is really a requirement. So ensure that for all your upgrades, the two schedulers should be set to on, and they must run at least once every day. Yeah. Thanks, Wandova.
Thanks, Otieno. Maybe just to add, I know when we were doing the training last week, we talked about the PrEP dashboards. So we'll be still utilizing the program monitoring scheduler so that it will feed both the case surveillance data and the PrEP dashboarding. So that would be the only place that will be the national program team will be monitoring the LENACA Hyper-V rollout. So let's ensure that this is running, the program monitoring, at least once a day, as Otieno mentioned. So there's no different scheduler for PrEP. It's the same for case surveillance. Back to you, Otieno.
Yeah, thanks, Dana, for the addition. So back to you, Gutu. Maybe you could go to the next item, the HIE.
Yeah, on the HIE, maybe I would request Diana to give a disclaimer on the HIE configuration before I continue.
Yeah, thanks, Ogutu. So the disclaimer is that there is a script that is not publicly availed to be run before the facility joins the superhighway that is connecting to HIE. So there are some processes that it is important that the county owns the process. So there is what we call the non-disclosure agreements that the county has to sign before a site is connected to HIE. I know for facilities like facilities that are already on facility-wide, that process was done. Example is for Kisumu County, that process was done. So that script will not be shared until those non-disclosure agreements are signed by the county, because this is sensitive, considering there is, in addition to patient data, there's also the aspects of claims and the money is involved. So if anything goes wrong, we would just want the county to be aware that connecting to HIE means that this can happen and we take responsibility. So Ogutu will not be sharing, or this is not in the package, but this would be shared after those processes are done. So for the counties that have already started the process, I think then they can continue. But for the counties that are just doing the upgrades for Lenacapa via rollouts only, I think we may need to follow those processes, and you just get in touch with your Palladium point of contact. They'll take you through the process together with the county so that this is done fast before a facility is connected to HIE. So that is a disclaimer. Back to you, Good.
Thank you very much. That was very important, and I hope all of us have heard. So for those who have been reaching out, and I think now you've had it loud and clear on how to go about the HIE configuration. So any days time's out. So let me reconnect. Okay, thanks. We are back. So for you to do the HIE configurations, you need, just for us to understand, we have configurations that were done for TaifaCare versions 19.2.2 and below. And then we have the configurations that were updated for TaifaCare version 19.30 and above, which includes the one that we are going to upgrade 19.32. So you realize there are some sites that you are going to, that were running 19.22 and were already configured for HIE in that version. You will need to update the endpoints to align with the package. So if you have such a scenario, kindly reach out to us, then we'll be able to support with the same. So we have two scripts. Okay, so the first script is for 19 30 and above, and this second script is for 1922 and above. How to go about them is the same. The process is the same. You only need to change the facility registration number, the KMPDU number that starts with GK dash something. I think there are 5 digits after GK dash. So that is the only thing you need to change, and then you source the file against OpenMRS database, and you'll be good to go. So I want to demonstrate this so that we are all in line. So let me open the script. This is the script that has got the required endpoints for us to configure HIE, the communication between KenyaEMR and national HIE. So the only thing you need to change, let me search for it. I don't know whether you're able to see this. What I've highlighted, are you able to see that? Let me want to magnify this to big. Okay, are you able to see what I've highlighted? There's the GK dash, 6 digits after the dash. So this, each and every facility has got this. You can get this from the facility management, and then you update. The only thing you will change are these digits, depending on the facility that you are configuring. Kindly don't forget to update or mix up facilities while doing the HIE configuration. This is very important and key. No facility shares this particular number, the KMPDU number. I hope we are clear on this. To obtain the KMPDU number from the facility, open the script, and then update, save when you're done, and then close. So after closing, this is what you need to source. There are several ways of sourcing. You can drag and drop, you can copy, and then you come to your MySQL. Let me just log into MySQL. You use OpenMRS, and then you source. So when I paste, the same way you are restoring databases, and then you run this particular script. So when you run this script, the endpoints will be updated in the global properties table, and that will be it. The next thing you need to do after running the script, I will not run for the sake, mine is a testing instance, so I will not change the configs that are running on this particular server, but that is the process. Just source this against OpenMRS database for the endpoints to be updated. You don't need to change anything on that script. Okay? So after doing that, what you need to do, come to your instance of TaifaCare, under modules, we have is it? First, you need to confirm. This is very important that you upgrade the latest version that you're running. Very important. So to check on that, you just come to system info. Where it is? Something on document. Oh. Now for the final steps, am I audible, Otieno?
You've been quiet for a bit. I don't know if you were talking, but now you are audible.
Oh, thank you. So I would want to confirm to sync the facility details with the HIE to confirm that our configuration is okay, and now we can start searching for our clients from HIE and serving them. So to do that, just go to the modules, go to administration, and then we have facility details. So from here, you synchronize your server with HIE. So if your configurations were done well, you should be able to get the facility registry code and everything updated on this particular session, meaning that your configuration is successful. So when you click on synchronize with HIE, okay, so you'll get the synchronization complete. This mine is a test instance. So for your case, under facility information, the code, the license number will be displayed here, and also the level. So that one means that your configuration is successful. Okay. Are we together? That is the last process of doing the HIE configuration. Any questions? So after that, you can always search for your patient. If you want to register patient, come to registration, use the ID number. So these are test instances. So when you do that, when you search, it will go to HIE like this. The search from the HIE, it will request for OTP for anyone to continue. So if you don't have the phone number or a phone for that particular client, they'll not be able to receive OTP. Okay, so that is the process. So after getting OTP, accepting, you can always continue registering the patient and seeing the patient at the facility. That is all about HIE configuration, unless equally or any addition from my team, the floor is open. Thanks, and back to your team.
Yeah, thank you, Gutu, and I think that's a job well done. I think we've been able to follow all that. So I think there's a bit of questions, some of which have already been responded to, some of which maybe we can respond now. Like someone, John is stating that from the 19.3.0 up to this particular version of TaifaCare, their prep report is always 0, even after doing the entries in the system. So John, I think that one can be handled in a case by case basis. Maybe you might want to reach out so that the service desk team can just drill down and see what's wrong with your instance, because basically you should have some numbers, especially for prep. So you just need to just kind of reach out for you to be assisted. Yeah, then someone is asking if, let me just read that, if NUPI verification will be factored in the new version. This is Dennis. So Dennis, NUPI verification was discontinued. Right now, all the TaifaCare supporting systems are supposed to pull their details from HIE. What Tugut was just taken us through in the last session. So we no longer have specific NUPI IDs supplied for HIV patients. All the patients are being pulled through the HI, as Ugutu has already demonstrated. Let me see if you have another one. Yeah, so I think I'm trying to just scroll through the questions as we give just a chance to also take us through the alternate IIT scheduler configurations, recognizing that the IIT scheduler is really heavy on resources. And sometimes when you turn it on, if your server doesn't have enough resources, you start seeing some compromises on the system performance. So we are introducing another way of configuring the scheduler so that it doesn't have to eat into your local resources. So just, I don't know if you're ready to just showcase that as we go through the questions.
Yes, Ogutu, can you grant me access to the other machine? I've logged in another machine. Just right now, I need access for sharing the screen. Or Bernard.
You have to share the screen?
I need, I'm using another machine, so I wanted you, if you give me access to that I can share the screen. Can I just check
what's the name of that machine? What's the name? Have you logged in it?
Just also.
So now you have that.
Oh, okay.
You can now present, yes. Proceed.
Yes, let me just share my screen. I hope you can see my screen.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, so we have a new IT model that runs on a Docker container. So you will get a zip file with this heading: install ITML Docker version 12. The date that is version 4, the date and the month of 2025. So when you open it, when you extract the file, you'll get the setup script. So, so there are some files that need to run. So there's some stored procedures that need to be executed, these ones. And also, when you look at there's a Docker. Also, there's some of these files that needs to be created in your local machine. So the first thing, when you open up the Docker file and you go to ML and IT, there's the settings. And these settings refers to where your OpenMRS server is. So currently my OpenMRS server is here locally. And so it has a URL of 172.17.0.1. Of course, this is the URL that you use, like the one you set up in DWAPI. The port is that 306. The database is OpenMRS, of course, and my password is root and test. So you need to set up that first. Then after that, you now run the setup script. So let me open up in terminal. Then you run the setup script. It will install everything for you. Just give me a minute. So you run it in sudo. So after completion, you can see the Docker container. Then you confirm if the Docker container has been set up. So when you do the Docker PS, you check if the reference module has been set up. I think I ran it 2 times. Let me just delete. Let me just delete this one. I think I ran the script. You just need to run the setup script only once. Sorry about that, it's a mistake. Yeah, so it's up and running. So this is the one, and this is the port, and it's running on port 8000. So it's a Docker container, so it's running on port 8000, and you can see it's up and running. Then after that, you log in to the localhost. You log into KenyaEMR. So when you log in into KenyaEMR, you go to the legacy admin. So let me just go to the KenyaEMR home, developer, legacy admin. There are some settings that needs for it to run. So when you filter by IIT, so this one is the admin user. So IIT machine learning API username should be admin, and of course the password should be the password for the admin user in your account. So mine is admin123, but it depends on the password based on what you have set up as the admin user and the password. So you need to set up this. This one is correctly. It's the API URL is 127.0.6. It's the local host 8000 because I've set up the Docker is running on 8000 the local host. Then after that now, so after that, and oh, there's also something I forgot. For it to run, there's also another. There's this IT machine learning model use API. So it is false. You need to set it up to true for it to run with the Docker container. When you set it up to false, it means you're going to run the machine learning model the way it used to run. So if you want to run using the machine learning model that I've set up on a Docker container, you need to set up this to true. There's an SOP for that. Of course, you'll be shared with everything, and the SOP explains everything. So after that, so now when you go to the machine learning, and then you generate the scores, it will generate from, it will generate the risk scores from the, it will generate the risk scores based on, from the Docker container. So currently it's because I don't have any scores to generate, but what happens, it will generate for you the risk scores from the container. I hope you can see my screen. So when you click here and you click generate the patient scores, it actually generates the patient scores. That's how it works. Anyone that question?
And maybe just you can confirm so that we are very clear that this is not an alternative way of the IIT model. This is a different model, an improved model. Just confirm if this is a different model or we are just saying an alternative way of an old model. Please clarify.
Okay, this is number one, this model is an alternative way of running the machine, like the IT risk course. So the only difference is that it has been developed to on a Docker container. And the reason why it's running on a Docker container, it is because it is faster compared to running it the old way, where you are running from the files that were saved on the local machine. So with that, that's why you're able. Remember, if we go to the configurations, that's why when you want to use use the API, if you go to the properties, let's give a minute. But here you say IT machine learning use API, you set it up to true. So it's an API. So you're using the Dockerized version of the machine learning module, which is totally different from what we used to set up in KenyaEMR, where it used to run locally from inside the source code of KenyaEMR. So it's an improved version of the machine learning module. So you can either use both. But you can only use one of them. So you want to use the Dockerized, because it's faster. You set it up, the configurations, and then to be able to run. I hope I've answered your question.
Thanks. Yeah, Chester. So the recommendation that we are giving is to use the Dockerized version because of the benefits that Chester has highlighted. Over.
Okay. Just I believe you are done.
Yes, I'm done. There's an SOP that has the whole process, which I shared with the team. So you'll receive the SOP and the files, and you're able to set up with your local machine. It's a very straightforward SOP. It has everything. So you just go through the SOP. It's not very complex. You go through it, and you're able to set up on your local machine or in the server, and you're able to generate the risk course. Thank you. If there's any concern in the team, like you're struggling, you can just contact me, and I'll help you to resolve the issues. Thank you.
Thank you, Chester. Looking at the time, I think we are coming towards the tail end of our training today. I believe that we've been able to follow. So I just wanted to share with you where we can get the resources. Just a minute. Yeah, so I just wanted to share this. I'd shared them last week with the team that were present. But these are so many ways for you to find help. You can get help through the SOPs that are available on our website. You can get help through going through the short videos, especially that explains how to do certain stuff or certain processes in the TaifaCare or with DWAPI. Then there is a chance for you to also become part and parcel of the HIS community. When you log into this, log into KenyaEMR's community platform, feel free to subscribe so that you become part and parcel of the community. You can help in responding to members of the community who post different questions. You can also ask questions, and the community will be able to respond to you. So that's a very exciting platform that you may want to be part and parcel of. Again, also, I know most of you have the service desk line, but here it is again. In case you need to reach out to our service desk through the toll-free line, here's the number. Feel free to call that number should you need any help. Again, I just wanted to share with you like what you are likely to find when you go to the training resources on our website page. So for instance, if you look at how to upgrade, you can look at that particular SOP. that will show you how to upgrade your instance to TaifaCare version. And also, even for prep documentation, you can find them from this particular link. So all these are resources about TaifaCare. So feel free to just jump in and go through any that you want to use. Chester, as my colleague has talked about the SOP on the Dockerized version of the IIT model. We're going to have that here soon. Meanwhile, we'll be able to share it with the team through email, but we're also going to have it as part and parcel of these resources online. So that's very important so that you are aware of how to find help whenever you need to do something that maybe you are not sure of. Yeah, so up to that point, I would like to ask Diana if you could take us through the next, within the next few minutes on the way forward in terms of the next steps. If you can just maybe either talk us through that, or if you want us to put up a presentation on the same. Dan?
Thanks, Otino. Maybe you can put up the slide. I know this was a slide that was presented by NASCO, and we were hoping that they will join us in this meeting, but they are in another engagement. So I'm doing this on behalf of NASCO regarding the timelines and the responsibilities of every one of us to ensure that this process is successful. So Otieno, I'm waiting for you to share the slide. Yes. So I think all of us are supporting these 15 counties. One is on the sites. There was an email that was shared today. I'm hoping that all of us received that email from NASCOP. There was some small changes to the sites per county. Not all counties had some changes, but there are a few counties that had changes on the sites that are going to be in the rollout of Lenacapavir. So ensure that you have that list, the latest that was shared today. If you don't, reach out to us, then we can forward that. So the target facilities for that upgrade is the 150. I think it's 156 facilities in 15 counties. So the Palladium team were tasked to update the system and ensure that that is available. And we have done that and availed the packages for both for KenyaEMR and DWAPI, and also ensured that we made changes to the PrEP dashboard so that everything can be monitored through the dashboard. That has been done. And I shared the email with the packages on Friday. So for the implementers on the call, we were supposed to do an upgrade to these facilities. It's doable, manageable, because it's about 10 facilities per county. So by Wednesday, all the facilities that are in the list are expected to be upgraded. For cloud sites, I think the timelines were Monday, and for on-premise facilities, the timelines was this week on Wednesday. So we have a team on standby just to ensure that you are supported. And this training was timely and helpful so that it acts as a reminder. I know we've done this before, the upgrade processes, but also just to touch on the key features and configurations that we have to do to ensure that we are getting everything right for this phase of this rollout. So maybe I won't dwell much on this slide. Let's go to the next, Otieno. The next slide. So the monitoring, like we had mentioned, will be done using the PrEP dashboards, and we have the service desk team on hand to support this process, and also the HIS team are supporting the different partners. Next slide. Yeah, so we have the different team members from our from Palladium. We just ensured that every county is covered. So the county counterpart is there. We have the name of the staff from Palladium, the phone number, the email addresses, in addition to the service desk team, this team will be providing dedicated support to ensure that the process is successful. So if there's something that you didn't get right from this training, please feel free to reach out. Then the team will be able to support where necessary. And I think the next slide was on the slides, the use resources, and I think Otieno has taken us through that. So I think that is it from me. Checking if Daniel is still on the call. Maybe Daniel, you can give out your closing remarks.
Yeah, thank you, Diana. And I know members are tired. This has been quite a long call, but I want to thank you for your time, for your active participation, and looking forward to completing this task that is ahead of us. I don't want to belabor what Diana has mentioned, but ideally our expectation is that all the sites are upgraded, especially for the 15 counties that we are supporting, and also for the program schedulers, because monitoring the uptake of Lenacapag is extremely important. So I think if we can also ensure that we have that in place, that could be, we'll really, really appreciate that. Otherwise, I want to take this opportunity really to appreciate everybody. Thank you for joining. And in case you have a challenge, please feel free to reach out to the Palladium team, or you can also reach out to the CDC team so that we can be able to see how to support you. Thank you so much, and have a good rest of your day. Bye-bye from me.
Thank you so much, Daniel. Otieno, I don't know if you have any of these or we can close. Back to you.
Thank you, Daniel and Diana. So I think for me, it's just to inform you that this recording will be available on our YouTube channel. If you joined late and maybe there's something you missed, feel free to head out to our YouTube page. You'll find it there first thing in the morning tomorrow. Otherwise, I think if there are no further ado, we'll just end this here. In case there is any issue, reach out to us through the channels that I've already shared. Otherwise, thank you very much. I think time is already spent, so we'll not go through the Q&A. So in case of anything, just reach out. Otherwise, thank you and have a great evening ahead. Bye-bye.